agents, casual likes, wagwan, wagwan. Welcome back to another live episode. We're going to call this one episode 22. Doing a little bit more in this sandstorm event, hunting down these dirt devils, collecting keys. Actually enjoying this little event, you know, actually enjoying it. I hope you guys are too. I've heard some people say, it's okay, and a lot of people has actually said, nah, it, the loot drops is it's just too much. I'm like, what do you mean it's too much? You know, loot drops are well. Let me say it this way, and I don't care if you catch flack from it. Oh shit! Like we got
Hostile explosive seeker mine
oh
detected.
shit, we got the hunter right off the bat. Okay, wasn't ready for all that, but okay, let's go. Let's see if we can actually find him this time. We lost him last time. I mean, he threw his trap. Oh shit. Oh boy. Yeah, this ain't quite how I wanted to start off, but alright, let's go. Ah, he got me out in the open.
System disrupted.
Back up off him a little bit. Get some space.
System reactivated.
You gonna heal up on me, huh? Damn, overthrew it. Oh no, it was right on point, wasn't it? Oh boy. And we got the devils in the house. See if we can get him again. I ran out of it. They got me in a bad spot. Ah. Oh, not in this little corner. This ain't good. Oh, you damn.
Vital signs critical.
Oh, damaging eye. Give me another chance. Give me another chance. Come on, come on, come on.
I'll throw them a gift! What are you airheads waiting for?
System malfunctioning.
Can't see a damn thing from here!
System restored.
Shit. Pressing the advantage on me, huh? Ah, underthrew it.
Hostile explosive seeker mine detected.
Brass clot. Oh, don't jump out there.
Hostile control point detected.
Got him. All right. So, let me finish my thought now. Um, so yeah, people was complaining, and it's not everybody. It's not everybody. It's selected few that complain about how much loot you're getting from these dirt devils. How much drops you're getting. Whatever, however you want to phrase it. But I'm like, dude, you gotta take in consideration that there are some new players in this game, and for the new players, this is, I mean, this is a nirvana. There's so much loot for their expertise, their proficiency, and all this and that. It's like materials. I mean, not everybody has all day to grind and get all these objects and items. You know, so suck it up. You know, if you don't need it, then bypass it. You know, just keep it moving. And if it's really bothering you that much, then go do something else. You know, it is just that simple. But I digress. I digress. I'm enjoying the event, even if I'm not getting full use out of. Ah, it's one of these beacons. Even if I'm not getting full use out of the materials and such that drop, you know, it's always good to see something drop anyway. And I hope you tuned in. Ooh, got another rabbit. All right, cool. Hope you tuned into my latest video where I kind of slightly revisited the thought about or the discussion topic of finding prototypes in the open world. Now, granted, this is an event, and I do believe there's like a small white, like 1% chance that prototypes can drop, but it just reinforced my point. You know, who wouldn't want to see these things actually drop in the open world? You know, whether it be the event or not. And I haven't checked any of the comments yet, so this video is a little premature of what actually transpired, but I have a feeling that it's going to have mixed reviews. Some of us are level-minded to be like, well, you know, it's a great opportunity to get items that you may not have a chance or time to be able to farm for, you know. And the crazy thing to me is, you know, the amount of prototype cores that you need to re-roll certain items it's like, that is crazy. That is crazy to me. So I'm like, yeah, the more opportunities you can get to get prototype cores, I think the better. But it's just my thought, my humble opinion. You know, each his own. But I love making those type of videos. You know, give a different point of view, a different,
Hostile broadcast.
well, yeah, different point of view, and just bring in a topic that everybody can chime in on. You know, everybody has a voice in this game, and they're all hypothetical. You know, there's no, oh, this is happening. I don't know anything. I don't have any inside track to what the devs are planning. It's just, you know, what I see and what I believe. And again, like I said, it's just a topic to have a discussion about. You know. I honestly believe that, you know, it gets a little tiring just popping on YouTube or what have you, TikTok, and you know, it's build video after build video of how undefeatable I am, or you know, how I shred enemies. You know, shit, let's have something else to talk about, something else to get into. Yeah. And it's not all about views and such like that. I honestly and generally want to have discussions about certain things.
Incoming backup request.
Kind of see where other people's minds are and where their head is. You know, what they're thinking. I don't think anything was down this way last time we was here, weren't we? Do you believe we were here before? It's kind of interesting. Why would they let us drop down here? I don't see anything or any real reason to go down here. All right. Maybe there's something down that way. But anyhow, moving on. I was telling my brother earlier, I said, damn, I should have been streaming earlier because I played probably a good hour or two, hour and a half before I actually decided to go live. Because I wasn't going to go live. I said, yeah, you know, back to back, maybe I don't need to do that. Give it some time, you know. And well, anyway, the whole point is I was running around and I found a couple of the beacons, and I was like, all right, cool. This is cool. And I mapped them for myself. I don't have any intention of making a video about where these locations are because it's already been done. You know, you can find that on the bigger content creators pages, channels. And you know, in the back of my mind I was like, well, you know, you do have an audience. Don't you know, sell yourself short. And I was like, you know, if they're players like I am, you know, it's more entertaining to find these odd items than to just have somebody sit there and hold your hand and tell you exactly where to go. You know? So that's why I kind of said, you know, this will be for my own personal information. If someone were to ask, hey, where do I find this or whatever, and if I know, then I'll show it. You know. Yeah, if enough people, I'll say it that way. But yeah, I hear one. See, that's the excitement to me. It's like, ooh, randomly I hear one. Okay, it's right there. Check that out. That's some fly ass artwork right there. Sorry, I didn't mean to scramble your brain or your eyes, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Another hunter killer chest. Yeah, I picked one of those up earlier. We don't want that. While I'm thinking about it, let's see here. It doesn't matter. I'm crushed that one for work toward the proficiency in it. There we go. All right. Do I want to keep going this way? Sure. Let's just keep going this way. You know, like my last, well, in the last stream, I got sand in my boots. You know, I showed this little location. It's probably like 1,000,001 videos that are showing this. Press the button and water drains out, and you can pick up a couple of weapon caches and gear caches out of it. You know, those little tips. Sure, I'll share. You know, I'll share those tips because not everybody knows about them, and in all honesty with you, the reason why I do my videos the way that I do them is I'm like, dude, I was that guy sitting there watching these large name creators or whatever showing me a damn 15-20 minute video for like 30 seconds to a minute worth of information. I said, Man, nobody wants to sit through all that. And listen to, oh, well, you gotta walk around here and blow by blow, and it's like, nah, bro, just get right to it. Go over here and hit the button. You know, go come to this location. It's a shame that New York don't really show the coordinates as well as they normally, as well as DC does. But go to the food bank, travel south toward the lockbox, and you'll find this location. Hit the button. Hit the button. Water drains out. Boom. You got materials to grab. End of the video. What else is there to talk about? Oh, I found this in here. Oh, this is great for if you want to do this type of build. Move on. I do have some information though. I do have some information, and this is why I said earlier. I was like, I should have streamed. Um, if you do retaliations, I just actually did one that was counting down. I said, let's go ahead and knock it out because I don't like to lose anything. So I did the retaliation. It does cancel out the Dust Devils. It cancels all of that out. And on top of it, the beacons are not available to you. You'll find them, but they're not available. So if you're doing retaliations, just keep that in mind. They don't mix. So don't think they do. Save you some time. There is... Yeah, okay. Let's go that way. I seem to recall there was another beacon around here somewhere. After you run around a bit, you'll start to kind of memorize some things. I mean, I don't have the best memory, so I tend to forget a lot. But I do believe there was one around here that I took note of. Leave them be. Actually, I don't remember it being at the control point. Oh well. If it's not there, it's not there. No biggie. Find another one. Ooh. I got sand in my eyes. So it's saying I passed where I marked, so which way do I go? I think it's down this this way, I think. Aha. Let's go back toward the... Yep, and I was also telling my brother that it's like, personally, I don't like to stream while drops are available, you know. And he doesn't have anything to do with the vision. We used to play, but after a while he said, nah, you know what, it's too much for me to get into. You know, he just wasn't as interested into it as I am, which highly understandable. So, you know, when I talk about certain things, I have to break it down to him what I'm talking about and why I'm talking about it. And I said, well, you know, Ubisoft, they're all about who's got the high counts, you know. And I said, I'm a small streamer, I'm a small content creator, so they don't offer me the drops. He was like, well, that's kind of stupid. I said, yeah, it is kind of stupid, you know, but whatever. You know, it is what it is. So, you know, I kind of feel like, well, why should I stream knowing that, you know, larger content creators and larger streamers, they got it on lock. You know, they got the numbers, so they get the opportunity to offer drops. And I'm like, well, shit, why would somebody want to come watch me if I'm not offering them anything? No drops. And he's like, well, shit. You know, you kind of talking yourself out of streaming. I said, yeah, I guess I am in a way, you know. He said, well, shit. You know, you have an audience. And, you know, if they choose to watch you, then they choose to watch you because they want to watch you. They don't care about the drops. They can get that elsewhere, right? And I was like, yeah, they can get that later or whatever. You know, and it's not a confidence thing. You know, I got confidence in what I'm doing. You know, and I have fun doing what I'm doing. So it's not even about, you know, whether or not, oh, nobody wants to come watch me. Shit. I ain't bothered about all that. Of course, yeah, I want you to be here. I want you to, you know, chime in. But it gives me joy to see, you know, when I post the videos and I post the VODs. Ooh, we found another one. That, you know, it gets some traction. You know, whether the person sits there and watches 5 minutes or a whole hour, you know, that's cool to me. You know, and you know, it might not be huge numbers, but it's still cool. It's still cool. I'm happy. One thing I'm not happy about, and it's all on me, It's something I need to work on or work toward. Um, where you streaming platforms. Hmm, this one might be interesting. Let's hold on that one. How do I want to say this? Hey, well, shit, I ain't protecting nobody's feelings. Shit. Anyway, what I'm getting at is
Supply convoy detected.
Twitch is super saturated with everybody and their mama trying to stream, doing this and that. All platforms actually are, to be honest with you. And it's hard to get an audience built when stream is not stream, but when a category or platform is saturated. You just kind of get buried and shuffled around in the deck, right? I'm not personally taking advantage of where my key audience is. My key audience is not here on Twitch. Now, would I like it to be? Sure. I'd like it to be wherever I go, but let's keep it real. It's just not there, or it's just not here. YouTube, that's another beast. That's another hard one to get noticed on. TikTok, on the other hand, this is the platform that I have been kind of yeah, I've been kind of neglecting, and it's not on purpose. I do a lot of my content there, and I have a pretty decent audience, that actually chimes in and actually shows me some love over there, and I'm like, damn, this is where I need to be streaming, for now, to keep that buzz going. Ooh, my shield is shot to shit. But I have a problem. My own issue is I don't have the hardware. I don't have the hardware to go with TikTok's software. That's my problem. And it's not a crowd for help, please help me, help me get a PC. Nah, it's just something that I need to, just buckle down and just go ahead and get, so I can at least try, at least try to stream to that platform, Not to mention be able to have the bells and whistles here. Excuse me. To have the bells and whistles here for Twitch. Be right back screens and all that good stuff. Music playing in the background. I'd love to have some of that. But then at the same time, I like to take my Twitch streams and make clips out of them. So I like to put my own music on them. So that might not be the best idea, to have music already playing. That might hinder what I'm trying to do later, so probably wouldn't do that. But yeah, need to get it right, and let's run on up here. Let's mess with these folks. Actually, I feel like something may be here in this circle, so let's go there. Yep, but I just like to broaden my horizon, that's all. Try different things out, try different platforms. I thought about Kick. I believe Kick is probably in the same boat as like Twitch is, you know. And hell, I mean, if you've sat down and listened to me, or you know, you've caught the live streams and such, you, what you hear is what you get. You know, this is who I am. You know, I'm not trying to make myself. Is the dog? I'm not trying to make myself into something I'm not, and into something that I can't keep up with. You know, all that yelling and screaming and laughing and you know, ninja this, ninja that. Nah, you know, that just ain't me. That's just not me. I ain't into all them monkey shines and whatnot, you know. And I know, you know, some people get off on that. And they like, oh, you know, they're so entertaining, they're so funny, this and that. Yeah, all right.
Enjoy these moments.
You know, I am too in my own way, you know. But I'm just not gonna do all them backflips and all this and that. And I can hear the, you know, the streamers that have already established themselves. They're like, well, see, you're losing the battle right there. There's your problem. Like, nah, I'm being genuine. You know, if that's how I gotta get there, then nah, I never will get there. 'Cause I'm not doing all that. I don't want to do all that. I don't feel the need to do all that. You know, I had a friend of mine. I'll call him a friend. Um, when I first decided I was going to do a gaming channel and I was going to start streaming, he said, "Oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool." He's into Twitch and all this and that, right? And he's a younger cat. And he says to me, he's like, "Yeah, you know, you get on there and be like, hey, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Cats, we're back in the house with another video for you. And yeah, everybody sit back, grab your popcorn and all that good stuff." I'm like, dude, I can't do I can't do that. I can't keep that kind of energy. I was like, nah, man. Shit, I tire myself out trying to keep up with that energy, you know. He's like, yeah, but you know, it grabs them and keeps their attention. I said, well, I guess I just won't be grabbing no attention then, will I? And he's like, nah, you cool though. You do what you do, you know. People will gravitate to you. And, you know, that's just the time I'm on. I'm like, well, you know, I'm still young in the game. Maybe not in life, but I'm still young in the game. You know, I'm learning different things each day. Um, you know, I interact. you know, you know, anything that you're freshly getting into, you know, you do your research, right? You do your research, and you know, it's sit there and listen to what the established tell you. They say, oh, you know, you got to engage with your audience. You got to, you know, don't leave one comment unanswered. This and that. Be prompt. Got me out open. You know, be prompt. You know, have a schedule. You know, all this and that is like, all right, I get it. It all makes sense. It all makes sense. You know, some things you can't just magically just start doing. You know, it takes time. Like, for example, I wanted to have a schedule. You know, I was working 5 days a week. You know, and you know, well, 40 hours a week or whatever. And you know, I wasn't doing like data centers. I mean, not data centers, but you know, telemarketing or anything like that, where I'm just sitting on my butt. Nah, I'm doing physical work. So sometimes, you know, I come home exhausted. Oh yeah, even if you're exhausted, you gotta hit that button and
Agent
go
requesting
in. I'm
backup.
like, no. You know, in theory, sure, it sounds great, shows dedication, but nah, you know, I feel like if I can't give you, at least 90%, then that's no good. That's no good, you know. Hell, I'm already monotone and already half dry anyway. So it's like, damn, you really want to see me half dead, huh? That's it, you know. I tried to keep it. I think I even still have it in my bio where I was going to try to I was doing Wednesdays and Saturdays, and I was trying to blend in Sundays where I would do like a different game, and it was working. It was working. Stressful, very stressful. You know, if anybody's out there listening and they're thinking about getting into the streaming game, it is stressful to try to keep up with that demand that you put on yourself. Nobody else puts it on you. In my mind, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong because the larger names are going to say no, you can't do it that way. Um, in my mind, I said, well, ooh, Luke Goblin. Huh, that was a first. What if he dropped anything decent? That'd be cool if he did. What was I saying? Yeah, if if you follow me, then you're going to get. If you follow me and you click on your alerts, okay, there's the keyword there. Click on the alerts, then you'll know when I'm going live. Now, I don't know. I'm gonna say this very loosely. I don't know how many people are prepped and ready. Say they're following, another streamer, and they're prepped and ready. Okay, such and such is going on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. I got to be ready for them. Or I make sure I'm home, stop what I'm doing. I don't know. I don't know too many people that's doing that. Um, I have done it. I've done it. Because I was led down a path of what's the word I'm looking for? Oh man, I was led down a path of, damn it. Oh, I can't think of the word, and it's a simple word. Yeah. Um, Jesus. It's bouncing around in my skull and it just won't piece together. I'm seeing letters of it. Oh. Anyway, it'll come to me later and I'll blurt it out and you'll be like, what the F is he talking about? Um, anyway, I was engaging with other streamers and, we were, see, I need the word again. And I know you're probably listening like, yes, this word. Alright, so what? I can't think of it. What if there's anything in here? Well, you can't jump over that. It's not that type of game. Let's see. Get up here.
Entering contaminated area.
Anyway, moving on. So, I would make sure that I tuned in when they were streaming. And I was pretty faithful to it there for as long as I could. And then, sometimes it's like, damn, I can't. Or I'm busy, I'm doing something, and you know I felt like I was cheating them, or better yet, I was cheating myself because
Contaminated
I'm
area.
trying to show them love and you know putting aside what I'm doing, and not to say that I didn't get the same back, same energy back, but I didn't get the same energy back. And so, it kind of led me down a path thinking of like, well, is this what people really do? Do they really do this? You know, I mean, just because I set a
Eclipse
schedule.
virus detected.
Ugh. Sorry, I paused because I thought I heard something. I kind of feel like there wouldn't be anything here. Let's find our way up out of here. Move on. So yeah, trying to stick to that schedule. I said, well, it's a good thing. If I was doing this full time, keep thinking I hear something. If I was doing this full time, I think that would be a little different.
Leaving contaminant.
I think that would be a little different then. Alright, how I get out of here? Might have to fast travel. Cause I remember this mission and this is not a fun spot. Get lost very easily. I was telling
Exiting.
you to go down here.
Contaminated area. Eclipse virus detected.
I wonder if it's gonna jack me up. May as well look at that. Yeah, but maybe I could actually stick to a schedule and because it would be my job, be my livelihood, So just like waking up and going to your
Eclipse
9 to
virus
5,
detected.
you're doing this. So I won't say it's easier, but it should be, right? It should be. Yeah, we might have to fast travel out of here because I do not remember how to get around in this area. Let's see, where's the nearest point? Let's fast travel here. But yeah, anyway, getting back to what was going on. Take a little sip of something here. Yeah, I had it all mapped out. I was like, all right, Wednesdays, Saturdays, and an occasional Sunday, and I'll do a 2 to 3 hour stream. Let's go here. And I felt good about it. It was positive. It just certain days it kind of hurt a little bit. It kind of hurt, and like I said, it was kind of stressing me out because I felt it's kind of hard to explain. Well, I felt like I was putting unnecessary pressure on myself. I gotta be prompt. I can't be late. I can't be late. And reason I laugh at that is, and don't take me wrong, I'm not holding a pity party or nothing like that, but like I can't be late to start my stream on time for nobody to be here. For nobody to be here. Nobody to chime in. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, you're trying to make sure you're on time for nothing, for no real reason, you know. But you know, it could somebody could actually be there, you know. Somebody actually might chime in. Nah, they weren't. They weren't. You know, and that's fine. That's fine. You know, one of the greatest tools that you can have. And I'm jumping around, but you know, and I am talking to anybody that's thinking about it, wanting to stream or whatever. And no, I'm no guru, and I don't hold courses, and you know, I don't do none of that jazz. I'm just talking. I'm just talking. One of the greatest tools you can ever possess is the ability to be able to talk to yourself. Okay? As crazy as it may sound, if you're not comfortable talking to yourself, then you got a long way to go there, bruh. A long way to go. As hell. Case in point, this whole 46 minutes worth of stream, I've been talking to myself. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you as if you're here in the stream with me, you know, but I'm literally talking to myself. And no, I'm not insane, but I think we're all a little bit insane, you know? So yeah, I am. But yeah, if that makes you feel uncomfortable, yeah, like I said, you got a long way to go. It's a hard road to travel. Lino's on. But yeah, a lot of my streams are like that. And ooh, bosses. Okay, where they be? Where they be? Ah, down that way, eh? See if we can't get that spot. Oh, he's smart. Smart. Yeah, get some of this sticky icky icky. I can't even say it. The sticky icky icky. Alright, let's go find your partner. There he is.
Hostile sniper turret detected.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I didn't think so. There he is. Oh, he made a grave error there, my friend. But yeah, it can be discouraging, especially your first go around. You know, jump on, you like, ooh yeah, people gonna come see me. Nah, no, they're not. You know, but some people have big success right off the right off the bat. You know, some people actually, you know, they got people that, you know, like to support them. And I'm not going to say that I don't have that. You know, I have generated some good support. You know, and it's genuine. And it may not be huge numbers, but these people I count on, you know, and it's enough. It's enough. I'll put it that way. It's enough. You know. You know, some people they've networked. That was the word I was looking for. Networked. They've networked, and you know they got that's pretty cool graffiti right there. You know, and they built the trust between each other, and yeah, whatever. And you know, right out the box, you know they got it. They got a nice audience, or they got a good flair about them. You know, they talk about things that you know people relate to, or you know find interesting or funny, or you know.
Agent in need of backup.
I've said in the past that you know, shit. You're a female, you already got yourself some views. You already got some people. You know, there's some thirsty cats out there. There are some extremely thirsty cats out there. And heavens, if you got yourself a camera, oh shit. You know, you halfway in. You are halfway in. Shit. Pop a little camera, pop a little cleave, you know. And you know, I'm not saying these things to degrade any women. I'm not saying it in that way. You know it as well as I do. You know, if you don't roll that way, you know somebody that does. You know, say all these provocative things and show provocative apparel. Shit, we all know what it's for. We all know what you're doing. But it works. I mean, shit. Some of them probably sitting down in mom and dad's basement. You know, we got a little basement. Dad, don't come down here. 'Cause I'm doing things that I shouldn't be doing. You know? Anyway, I'm just talking shit. But it's real. How? How are they invaded? But you know, those are tricks. Those are tricks. Yep, we call them tricks in the real world too. I hear one. And louder. I don't think it's this way. No. No. It's not this far. Louder, so I must be close. I don't hear it now. Now, I know I'm not tripping. I heard it. Uh-oh. We got a hunter? Yep.
Explosive seeker mine detected.
Oh, how you gonna shoot through the truck? Come on, bruh. Yeah. Yeah. Ah, that'd have been nice. That'd have been nice. Sorry. All right. I don't think he drops anything amazing. You know, somebody's probably like, well, if you did it on heroic. Yeah, whatever. To the point nowadays, I'm like, you know what? I don't need all that extra stress. You know, I play the game to have some fun. I ain't worried about all that stress and trying to impress anybody. Done all those things. I ain't bothered about it. Alright, let's find that beacon. I, Between the thunder and lightning, it's kind of throwing me off a little bit. No, I heard it. I have I haven't ran into any glitches as far as that sound just happening and it's not anything, you know? Ah, there it is. Well, this might be the first glitch that I've run into with this. Is clearly we're right here. You don't hear it. That's wild. That is wild. Okay, so let that be known. There's a chance that it'll glitch out and you won't hear them. That's just wild. I don't think we need this. Let's crush it. Damn. See, I need a team. Because I need to clip that. I have to try to remember that. 57 minutes in. Alright. Yeah, that's another thing, you know. Um, Getting a team. Stream team, you know. Highly useful. Very, very useful, you know. Somebody that, you know, is down for the cause, you know. Shows up, does your moderating. You know what I meant. Well, if you don't, then they're your moderators. So they can actually control like language, people in the chat. You know, do all the things that you can't do because you're actually playing the game. You know, send shout outs to people, you know, recognize people that follow or subscribe to you, you know, all those good things. Because, you know, being a one-man band, just picture it, you know, you try to play every instrument. You know, some people can do it, some can't. So. The sound is kind of glitching out too, You know, I don't like that. Like, when you're firing and your your bullets just sound like tic tacs. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to describe it, but like that, you don't get the real effect of your weapon. Not a big fan of that, especially when you pull out the LMGs and them things supposed to bark, and all you hear is tip, 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 tip. It's like, nah, bro, that ain't it. So that might be what has happened with that beacon. It's possible.
This is Conley, leader of the Cleaners. No other group in this city is as well prepared as we are. We have fuel, infrastructure.
I show.
Together, we can save the city.
It's hot around here.
Area is now under investigation. It's not too
So
late.
yeah, if you thinking about getting into the streaming world, wish you all the luck in the world, and yeah, hit me up. More than happy to network with you. I'm gonna sit here and act like I can show you the ropes, because I don't know the ropes. you know that's another thing. Um it's it's hard to get on the crosshair. Oh, come on. It's hard to get information. I mean, like real information. Like somebody to actually, quote unquote, hold your hand and help you through certain things. YouTube is only good for what YouTube is. Views. You know, y- Once in a while you can find some good information. You can actually find videos that don't waste your time. You know, like mine. Yep, plug my own shit. That's right. Casual Games. YouTube.com and on Twitch. Of course we're on Twitch. TikTok. Yep. Anyhow, all S's are Z's. So every once in a while you'll find some good stuff, but I can't tell you how many videos I've sat through and came out more confused than I was before I even watched the video. And it's like, damn, it'd be nice if I could, DM this person, hey, how do you do this, or can you actually help me? But they say, oh, oh yeah, I'm down to help. No, they're not. No, they are not. They got too many other things to worry about. And something that nobody's going to tell you and nobody wants you to really know, or they don't really want to say it, is if I help you, okay, just think about this. If I help you, get your streaming legs up, help you become successful, that's potentially taken away from the views on my stream. And I'm not saying that everybody's thinking this way. And I'm not saying that that's how greasy and grimy the game is, but yeah, I am saying that. And he took a lot of shots. Yeah, the game is glitchy around these parts. I mean, I think that's just people's nature in general to not really want to see you succeed. In your face, sure, they want, oh yeah, man, oh, you're great. But Secretly, no, he like, mm-mm, mm-mm. I don't want to see you succeed, cause I'm trying to succeed. You know, I'm trying to succeed. Oh, gotta take a drink to that. Kinda lost my voice. Anyway, it's cause you doing all that talking. I ain't talking about nothing. Yup, it's exactly what I'm doing.
Detected. Nearby location. Guarded by
That was one
hostiles.
thing I remember video I watched, and this guy was talking about he was like, yeah, you should always treat your stream like you got, you know, whether it's one person watching, well, whether it's 0 people watching or 100,000 people watching, you know, you're supposed to, you know, always be active, always have something going on, because you never know when somebody might chime in randomly, and you know, if you're just sitting there, bums the word, then you know they're more likely to scroll off and do something else, listen to somebody else. I said, okay, that makes sense. That does make sense. You know, theory makes sense. You know, shit, we got another hunter. Things seemed a little dicey there. Something's going on here.
Incoming backup request.
See, we can't pinpoint that. Felt like it was up this way. Let's go back up here. Maybe it's just the sandstorm effect. But no, like I was saying, you know, it makes sense. You know, although I have watched streams where the person hadn't said one word. One word. I've been involved in streams where, you know, I've personally chimed in, you know, just to, you know, interact. Nothing. No response. And you look at the viewer count, it's like, damn, you got views. You got people that are in here. Now, there's a thing that people do. They tab in, you know, tab you up or whatever. Kind of just have you playing in the background. They ain't really watching you, you know. That's cool. That's cool, you know. I guess that's support. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like, well, okay, you're telling me right off the bat, you're telling me that, oh, I got you tabbed up. I'm not gonna watch you. You know, I'm not gonna watch you. You know, I'm gonna give you some real basic interaction. You know, I'll you know, hit you off with an emote here and there, whatever. It's like, damn, I almost would rather you just not even do anything, you know? Well, it's better than nothing. True, but at the same time, I kind of just I mean, I know it's a double-edged sword, right? It's a double-edged sword. I kind of feel like,
Hostiles detected.
you know, if we're cool like that, you know, and we know that it's not a malicious thing,
Husky detected.
it's mutual respect, you know, then you know, that's cool. I think I could say that's cool. That's not a problem. You know, hey, all right. Oh, you're playing the game too? Oh, okay, I get it. You know, well, I appreciate tabbing me up. All right, I get it. Or you're streaming yourself. Okay, well, I'm playing the game too. So, all right, we both know what this is. We both know what it is. It's to help generate views. Because there are some curious people that will see a streamer that has nobody in the chat or watching the stream, and they'll pop in. You know, I've done that. Done that. I think I've been discovered that way as well. You know, like I have a good friend that we play the game together and co-stream, and have talked about streaming, not as much as I would like us to do, but we've talked about streaming and such. And hell, she found me. You know, and I guess it's no mystery who you are now. So big ups to you. I won't put you all out there like that. But anyhow, you know, and that's how we developed the friendship. You know, and that's cool. That's cool. You know, and I don't think a lot of people do that anymore. I don't think they actually put themselves out there like that anymore. And it's not a pity thing. It's not like, oh, I'm showing this person some pity. Nah. Because believe it or not, sometimes the best shows are the ones that are offbeat that not everybody tunes into. You know? Where are we at? I don't even know where we at. We're just running around, yapping off. It's fine though. And that's what I've built myself to be accustomed to. Sometimes, I'm just like, nobody want to hear me ramble, talk about nothing. I say, well, shit. They really want to hear me not even say anything? Maybe, maybe not. Oh, ain't gonna let me get it until I get that. Okay. Nope, I hadn't ran out of things to say. Just rested my voice a little bit.
Okay, time for these bastards to pay up. Hey, watch yourself.
I'll get you for that, motherfucker! All that's gonna be left of you.
Ooh, exotics.
Hostiles guarding location nearby.
Sawyers. Nah. Like I heard a beacon. Back. Damn thunder. I can't. Maybe I didn't. Guess I didn't hear anything. What's that over there? Nothing.
Detected. Nearby location. Guarded by hostiles.
Love exploiting weak points. I think that's one of my favorite aspects of the game is finding the enemy's weak point. When they have one. If they don't, shot to the knot. Did we explore this from our last stream? I feel like we were here before, and it wasn't anything really going on. I don't even know exactly how many beacons are actually in the game. Boss. Okay. Don't want to lose him, but it's, I see his decoy.
Turret detected.
Oh, there he is. Gotta get away from this turret. And I gotta get me some cover. He's gonna shred my shield. See if I can get this off. Not before I dead you. Oh, maybe not. There it is, weak point. Nice. We've been here. I remember him saying what he was saying, and I said, oh, wait a minute, I don't know how I feel about how I heard it. If you didn't hear it, I'm not going to say it, so let's just keep it moving. What? But you know, at the end of the day, talking about streaming and such, once again, having fun. That's it, you know. I mean, you can be serious about what you're trying to accomplish and what you're trying to do, but at the end of the day, man, have some fun with it. You know, if I didn't find this to be entertaining and fun, what am I doing? I'm just playing the game and recording. Well, yeah, I do that. Yeah. Sometimes I have no intentions of having anybody, show up,
I hope this
and it's fine. It doesn't hurt my feelings one bit because you know I make content. I'm not just a streamer. You know, I'm doing this thing kind of ass backwards. Is you're going to hear the tips, them telling you, oh, use the social platforms to draw attention and people to your stream. You know, I think I heard something. Um, which is true, makes sense. But I feel like I said, I feel like I'm going ass backwards because I'm drawing more attention to. I think it's just a building clanking. Drawing more attention to the socials than attention back to the streams. One cool thing I find cool, is okay. I may have streamed on Monday, and nobody showed up. Okay. Tuesday, going back to look at the VOD or um, go grab some clips. I've noticed that, oh, it's been viewed. Now, I can't tell you how long, but, the VOD has been viewed, X amount of times. I'm like, well, okay, well, that's cool.
Agent in need of backup.
Maybe they couldn't actually come to the
Detected.
actual
New
show
location
and,
guarded by hostiles.
well, you didn't have a schedule, so, nobody anticipated on, tuning in. Because, it works just like, television show. You are a show. So, that goes hand in hand with having set schedules. And that would be why it's important to have such, but I digress. But yeah, just to see that, okay, well, they caught the replay of it. They may not have caught it real time, but they watched a little bit here or there, whatever. That's cool, you know. And I also post these things up on YouTube, and get a little traction over there too. Whether or not they watch the whole thing, that's
Hostiles guarding location
neither here nor
nearby.
there. Um, I might not be talking about the hot topic of the year. I'm not showing you farming builds. I'm not showing you, the quickest method to get things. I don't feed you that fast food. That's not my style. You know, I don't do videos like that,
Nothing moving out there yet.
and I don't do well, that's videos and content. It's all the same there, but I don't do that type of stuff. And it I could be my own worst enemy. I could be my own setback, my own downfall, because I choose to not do certain things that the others actually do. You know, like there's one cat, and I'm disappointed. I am honestly and genuinely disappointed in this person. I can't name his name. I don't know him personally. Okay, I don't know him personally at all, but um, and I'm sure this person doesn't know me either. But I used to follow his content, and I was like, okay, this cat, he's kind of like how I am, as far as what he's putting out. He's not afraid to think differently, try something different. And I said, oh, and this person's actually
Location
been
confirmed by
like in their
hostiles.
videos say, hey, oh, I'm lonely. I don't have anybody really to play the game with, so hit me up sometime. We can run. And if that gives them away, it gives them away. So be it. But anyhow, point is that I thought the content was cool. You know, not a huge name. They got a name, but they're not huge in the game. Okay, it's all good. Shit, get back. But it saddened me that over the last, I'm gonna say the last year, they kind of went down a path that I didn't expect them to go down.
Detected.
Highlighting exploits. Highlighting exploits in the game, and this and that. I'm like, ooh, ooh. That's how I feel about these type of videos. Showing me all the cheesy methods and this and that. I'm like, I get it. There's a lot of players that's all they want. They don't want the real deal. They just like, okay, look, I'm trying to get from shade 0 to 20,000 in 1 hour. Show me how to do it. I don't care about the game. I don't care about these mechanics. All I want to do is farm this control point over and over and over and over until I get that shade level. That's all I care about. Show me how to do it. Wow, dude. Dude, I'm trying. I want to help you. I want to help you enjoy the game and keep playing, not to burn out. But, like I said, some of them like that type of shit. And we all know what happens. We all know what happens. This game's stupid, man. It's so boring. There's nothing to do. Yep, sure is. Ooh, shit. I seen that the last second. Alright, give y'all one back. How about that? Uh-huh. Anyway, yeah, I won't say that. No. I'm gonna say it the way I feel it. Yeah, I lost a little respect for this content creator. I was like, you know, you just showed me that. Yeah, you're out for the views, and I mean, yeah, one way or the other, we all are out for the views. We're out for the views. But you just really showed you played your hand into this dark side of nothing but views. It's a niche, whatever, however you like to pronounce that word. Which I'm going to tell. There, I'm going to touch on another topic, something that I say that I keep getting like the same comment about, but we'll get to that in a second here. Where we going now? Let's go over here and mess with them. But yeah. He found a niche that's working. It's working now. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that the game runs out of glitches and exploits. What are you going to do now? You've built an audience on people that like that fast food type of content that's, helping them cheese their way through the game. Now you want to get serious again? And this is not taking a shot at this person. It's just conversation. It's just a topic. This goes for any and everybody that does that. And I'm not standing firm saying that there's a right and wrong way to do this thing, because there isn't. There's no rules to it. Do whatever you want to do. Whatever gets you through and whatever helps you sleep at night. Do whatever you want to do. But yeah, you go back to trying to be serious. Those players don't want to hear that. They're looking for the next person that's got a glitch or something they can use. Or better yet, they just quit the game because now there's no cheese. Without the cheese, then there's no sandwich. So moving on. But yeah, we touch on a different topic. So my intros, Wagwan, right? My little phrase I like to use. When I post my videos, I add captions to them, because a lot of people watch videos and don't have the luxury of letting the music and letting the sound play, so they gotta watch the captions. Well, I got this one character, and it's only one that constantly likes to chime in and basically the person's trying to tell me I'm mispronouncing or I'm spelling it wrong. There you go. I'm spelling it wrong. I'm like really? That's all you got? I mean, hey, it's interaction. I'll take it. I will take it. But I'm like, really? And I guess in their little cute way to, trying to remind me that, hey, you're saying it wrong. I mean, not saying it wrong, but you're spelling it wrong. I'm like, dickhead. There's two ways to spell it. One is a common way, more local, and the other one is more commercial. I spell it in the local sense, not the commercial sense.
Incoming hostiles detected.
I spell it from its origin, not today's English or what have you. Got him. I also like environmental damage too, if you haven't noticed. But yeah, I say, dang, you ain't got nothing else to do would sit there and try to criticize a word that I'm using. You know, it's just like my first, no, not my first build videos. Oh Lord, my first. I got two. I have two videos that I put out like a year before I got serious about making Division 2 gaming content. And I made these two build videos. I used to I have another channel that it was all over the place. You know, they tell you you should niche down, or however you want to pronounce that word, niche down. Oh no, I was all over the place doing all kinds of stuff. Um, Point is that, oops, um, yeah. So I had made these build videos back in the day, and they were awful. They were awful graphically, and they just were awful. But you know, live and learn. Um, so after I started getting better at making content, I made like my very first actual build video that actually made sense. And I guess I mispronounced a word in there. You know, it could be just the way that my speech is. And once again, without having a team, some things you don't catch. You know, I had the captions running, and so I had the captions running, and I mispronounced, or the captions read me the wrong way. Okay, so be it. I ain't think nothing of it. You know what the hell I meant. You know. And this person felt it was their duty to chime in and learn how to spell before you try to teach. I'm like, dickhead, you know what the hell I meant. You know what word I was saying. You know the gear piece I was talking about. And it's a little funny little thing that my dad always says. He says, shit, if I tell you there's a trend on the track coming at you, what do you think I mean? I said, trend? He's like, yeah, if I say there's a trend coming, you stand on the train track. What do you think I meant? Train? It's like, exactly. You know what the hell I meant. So regardless if I said it wrong in your eyes, you understood what I meant though, right? And if you didn't, you want to try to debate it, then you get run over by the train. I said, damn, all right, that's a way of saying it, but okay. Get what you're saying. So I said, whatever. That taught me some things. Like, hey, I have to have some thick skin to work around these folios, bro. It's the only way you're gonna be able to survive through this. Oh, what is going on now? Now we can't fire? Okay, here we go. Starting to find some glitches. I was talking big about this earlier. I was saying, yo, game is actually running smooth. No issues, which is very surprising, being that you can only imagine everybody and their mamas here in New York. So I am kind of surprised at that. But if I'm being honest about it, and it's my own opinion, speculation, however you want to say it, I believe with this event, they've dumbed it down. I mean, as far as how much they've put into it so that it can actually run smoothly. Oh man, I thought I was engaging him. Well, we'll catch him on the rebound. Um, you know, because think about it, the whole format of it is quite simplistic. I mean, it's not as big as like
Looking for that mother.
the um, the Blossom event. You know, DC is a lot bigger than New York is in scale, and the systems they had in play there. I mean, it's virtually the same thing, but I think we're on a larger scale. So I think the stability here in New York is a lot higher than what it would have been if they put this in DC. Did I say that right? I think I said that backwards.
Friendly supply convoy detected.
But again, you get what I'm saying. Look at that. And because you're probably catching this on the rebound, catching this video that is on the rebound, if you've made it this far, you know, I'm just saying, it's one of these occasions where, you know, you got to take things for what they are. You know, let shit roll off your back. You know, for about 3 minutes, 4 minutes, I will go 5. We'll go 5. For about 5 minutes, I had 3 viewers pop in. Okay, and you know, caught me in my rant. They caught in the middle of it. So okay, they may have been like, "Oh, let's see what he's talking about. Let's chill here for a second." All right. Maybe they seen I didn't have drops, or maybe they said, "Oh, well, these talking about is not interesting," you know, and they moved on. It's all good. Let it roll off. Roll off. It is what it is. We're gonna run up in here for a minute, as I am going to take a quick break. I hope that you'll hang out and stay tuned in. I'm going to take about a good 3 minutes or so. Try to make it quicker than that. But give me a second. I'll be right back with you.
Agent requesting backup.
All right. Sorry about the delay. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Um, yeah, we're gonna go a little bit longer. I don't want to keep y'all too late. Do a little bit more running around, see what we can find and what we don't find. Let's travel this way. Um, just to see what you guys think and see who's with me with this. So I've been using the phrase in the last couple videos, casual likes. Okay. Um, I'm building a community. So, this is this is not a what do you call it? This is not a cult. It's just a community. And originally I was going to do casual lights. I said, nah, that sounds too close to being biblical. And, I don't want to offend nobody as far as their beliefs and such. So I went with casual likes, meaning casual, like-minded players and people, people like myself. What do you think about that? Is that a good one, or you dislike it? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Hit me off with a comment. Your thoughts about that.
Can't see you from here.
I can see you, though. All right, got a little proficiency on our insult to injury, LMG. That's something that I like to do in the game. I've been doing ever since expertise came around. Slap a secondary or your pistol, whatever. Whatever weapon that you're not primarily using, slap that on the back and get your proficiency up on it naturally. Just through playing the game instead of doing the quick route, which you can if that's what you want to do. You can donate your printer filament, and get your proficiency up quick. But again, that's all about if you just want things quick and easy. There's no wrong way of doing it. It's just your preferred method, and this is my preferred method. I mean, not to say I don't and haven't done the other route. And I've seen videos, and I hate to keep harping on this, but I'm trying to drill home a point, to anybody that's actually listening, paying attention to certain things. I've seen the videos. Okay, let's say for example, you do the printer filament route and you burn through all of your printer filament. Now you're sitting there like, oh, well, now I need to get more. And I've seen these 15-minute videos telling you basically, go back to base of ops or wherever the vendors are and buy, and peep it, and buy mods so you can break them down to get your printer filament. Okay, so that's tapping into another resource, which is your currency. All right, I mean, sure, it works. It's a method. Where these folios at? There they are. I'm like, wow, in these videos, they're getting, 50, 70,000 views or whatever, and it's like, all right, hey, it worked, it worked. People is like, oh, this is how you do it. Like, I'll tell you what I do, what I've done. I've gone to the summit. I don't do countdown, but you could do countdown, and they've thrown that in the mix now, and set your targeted loot for mods or whatever, and you get your stuff back that way. It works. That works. Um, what I like to do now, well, before they didn't have retaliation, so like I said, I was doing countdown, and I was getting what I needed, or I'd farm the open world where they have mods dropping, but retaliation, shit, slap that on mods and just get at it. Actually play the game, have fun while playing the game, and getting the resources that you need. Break those down. Get your printer filaments. You're not spending currency, you're not losing anything, you're playing the game. Hell, you might even find something that you actually want.
Friendly supply convoy in proximity.
But that's just my method. That's just the way I operate. No right or wrong way. It's just what I do, and I like to share things that I do. Maybe somebody else will see it and be like, oh, you know what? I like that idea too. Or I like that better. Or whatever. All to the good. Ooh, that was nasty. I don't know where that came from. I took special ammo off. He should have never escaped that. I'm gonna have to look up and see how many of these beacons are actually out here. So I'm just curious now, because I haven't seen any or heard any in a minute. So not even thinking that I got them all, but I just would like to know. And this goes back to the Blossom event, Cherry Blossom event. I was saying, saying to deaf ears, but whatever. They should have made they should have had a counter that told you, how many you had, or um, yeah, I guess that's all you can say about it. Just how many you actually had found. Because I know I was running around, and in the beginning, I was just finding them on my own. And of course, you got a little something for finding them all. So, it was getting toward the end of the event, and yeah, I had to cheat. I was like, I'm missing like 5 or something like that. And, I had to resort to a guide, a map. And what sucked about that was the fact that I was finding them so randomly, I couldn't tell you exactly which ones I had found. And, going back through it, I damn near had to go through each and every one of them in a specific order just so I could, cross them out. That sucked. So it'd just be nice to see a count. That way you could be like, oh, okay, yeah. I've figured out where these things are, and I know it's X amount So I find X amount, and I know I've got them all for the day or whatever. You know, if you're not using the guide. What was that? Oh, it's just the siren or the flashing lights. Is that a quadcopter? Sure is. Huh. I don't know why I'm surprised. I seen that in the last
Incoming backup
gameplay.
request.
Any good? Nope. See where this takes us.
I sure wouldn't want to be you.
Now I have your full attention.
I'll make you my goddamn accessory. Goddamn it!
I remember this cat having some spicier words to say to you other than what he just said. I don't know if y'all recall that or not. But he wasn't saying he make you his accessory. Ooh, bosses. That's what I was looking for. Ooh, not with the quadcopter. Wonder if he's fighting the boss. Right here. They're shooting up top, so I wonder if the boss is up top. I don't know how I'm gonna get up there. Oh no, here we go.
Hostile artillery.
Shit. Get inside, thank you. I'll still be fighting the might be fighting the sniper now.
Here's your ticket, fucker!
Hostile slam turret detected.
Okay, so he must be around there somewhere. There he is. Well, quadcopter kind of helped me out a little bit. Got enough ammo? Yeah, why not? Thought I was gonna have more options in here. Not really. That's right, step out there. Ooh, got her. Keep getting hung up on stuff. Ah.
You're taking me, fuckers!
Here's my specialty! This is fun!
Need to complete one more activity in the financial district. That'll give me the other person's challenge. Alright. May as well, since I burned through some exotics. So that'll get me a easy exotic. Uh-oh. This ain't good. Out in the open.
God damn it! He smashed my glass! Moving to flank them! Hey, watch yourself!
Alright, let's find ourselves our third activity. financial district. Zoom out. Let me see how big this is. I think it goes all the way. Of course, there's nothing else here. I think we have a bounty we can do. Or we can just wander around. Something should pop. Something should pop up. You want my attention? You got it.
Friendly control point nearby.
Enemy on the flank!
It's gonna be Battery Park. Right on the edge.
Falling back!
Maybe not. Might let us stay on the edge. No, that's not an event, but or an activity, I should say. Yep, who's around the border? Let's see what we have. Oh, we got dailies. And we got, I don't use the other word, so guild bounties as well. How much time we got? 2 minutes? Not 2 minutes, but looks like 2 days. Yeah, 2 days for the guild. Let's try. Let's get this one. Yeah. All right. Wow. All right. Fair enough. Good fast travel, but we're gonna run it out. That way we can hopefully collect some more keys. And I guess we'll go for another 15 minutes. That'll put our video at 2 hours and 30 minutes. Could go longer, but it's getting a little late. And yeah, it's just getting a little late. And I want to get something to eat. So there's that. You know, it blows my mind. Some of these streams, they do 24-hour streams and this and that. I'm like, wow, you really sit down and you can do all that? That's cool. You have my respect.
We're out in the open!
But I also believe, you know, there's teamwork in that too, you know. I think some of them have a team. Let's just put it that way. Some of them, hell, they. I seen this one cat. He was like, yeah. He was doing the marathon, and he said straight up. He was like, yeah, I gotta go get something to eat, and left the stream running. And you know, this cat had thousands of people watching, and basically it was just his computer desk. That's what you watched for a good 40 minutes while he left to get food. And I didn't see not one number drop. I stayed on just to see how it was going to play out. I was like, wow, that's dedication.
Friendly control point detected.
Target near you.
Damn, streets are awful quiet.
They got a clear shot at me!
Let's go! I'm surrounded! Take them out! Ah, guarded.
Ah, jump over the couch. Come on.
That's the target agent.
Ah.
Target down. Good job.
Alright. Finish Felipe's challenge. I think that was all of them. I think. Hadn't been paying attention. I guess they still got other ones. Oh, you get more components. How long are these going? Oh, for 6 hours? No, that's just the current ones. Dang, I wouldn't mind getting those components. First off, let's see how far, well, how many we have. We should, we got 993, so it's not going to kill me to not get those few. It's okay. No biggie. We'll get those another time. Alright, so we got about 5 minutes left. What do we want to do? What do we want to do? Want to just wrap it up? Could do control points and stuff like that. That'll give us 2, and then one more, something simple. How many keys do we have? That's a good question. Whoops. See right there. We got 105, huh? Let's get ready to close up shop. I'm not gonna go through my caches. Just get rid of a few of these little items here. And we'll travel to the base of ops and take a quick look at what it is that we can get with these keys. So far I haven't actually purchased anything. I've donated. That's right, we did pick up an armor repair. Do a compare joint. Oh, what was the first one? Duh. Oh no, we got one that's better, so we'll get rid of that. And yeah, since I've put this on, I think for 2 days, yeah, no, 3 days. 3 days of just having this on the back. Almost proficiency 7. I mean, that's doing nothing. And I just got this one yesterday, and I ran one additional one, additional duplicate of this weapon, and it's almost 3. You know, not bad for just passively, gaining levels on it. Let's run. It's not fast travel.
Looks like
Let's
you earned
run.
yourself another bounty. Well done.
That way, maybe we can get another key or 2. Sure it's not going to bother you too much if I go over the time that I just said, you know. But we're not going to do any long goodbyes and all that, you know. I suck at that. I suck at the outros, maybe even suck at the intros, but you know, I know I suck at outros. Like, I don't know what else to say. Oh, I'm so happy to have you here, which is all true, you know. Happy that you chose to hang out with me. You chose to click on this video and watch the madness. You know, listen to me ramble on about this and that. You know, may have found something useful out of what I said, or you know, agreed or disagreed with what I've said. May have found the gameplay footage entertaining, you know, or you know, like sometimes when well, yeah, sometimes I pop on a vid and you know, get ready to call it a night, and it's just what I have in the background, you know. That's cool too, you know. Or maybe you're a new viewer and this just happens to come across your feed, or you know, you're going down the rabbit hole and it happens to pop up like, huh, who's this cat? Hadn't heard of him. Or I've been, you know, wanting to see what he's talking about. All cool, all good. Welcome in. You know, we're happy to have you.
I can't believe we did it.
Friendlies. Oh, guess we go this way. Can't see. So I got sand in my eyes. Be nice if we can come across another boss or hunter. Although I don't think the hunter's actually dropping anything outside of the mask. You know, and the bosses, I don't think they're dropping anything outside of a key. Oh, yeah, there's that. Toasty! Ooh, I bet you some. I bet you some of these beacons might be found in the tunnels. I have to try that. I have to explore the tunnels here. Maybe we'll do that in our next run. Yep. I might have an impromptu stream tomorrow. See, that's my big thing now. And it goes against everything that streaming rules are. You know, I always say hey, if you tune in, you know, hit that bell, you'll get the alert, you know, because I'm always up for an impromptu stream. Always like to do things. I can't say I like to do things when I'm not prepared, but sometimes, you know, just get the spark and be like, you know what? Let's hit that button. Let's hit that go live button. But we'll work on it. We'll work on getting better at actually having a set schedule. You know, some people do like structure.
Perfect, right there. That's where I'm gonna kill you.
Be nice to get ourselves one more key. See, we got a proficiency level. Nice. I don't think we're gonna get lucky enough to get another key. Well, I can't say we won't get lucky enough, but I'm just spinning wheels right now, running around in circles. Drawing this out longer than it needs to be. Yeah, let's just go ahead and wrap it up. Go in here and take a look at some of the goodies they got. Actually, you know what? They don't let you preview anything. That kind of sucks. Because I've looked at what they have. Actually, you can do it from your menu. You don't actually have to go into base of ops, but we're here. I think we need to be on the other side. Oh, gotta pet the puppy. You know, it's good luck right there. Wow, a lot of keys have been donated. Must be up to the last challenge, I do believe. Let's yeah, you can't see it from that angle. You gotta look here. So okay, that's completed. That's completed. So we're up on the pants. Alright, so the pants is up for grabs. Need a lot of keys for that, but I'm sure we'll get it. We've gotten everything else pretty quick. Alright, so event rewards. So this is from your personal progress. See, they're giving you weapon skin, but they don't let you see it. That kind of sucks. They should let you preview it. And it's kind of, yeah, I'm going to say it the way I feel it. It kind of sucks that they got these patches in the mix. So you have to get the patches before you get the skin. And so on and so forth. That's kind of ignorant. That's kind of ignorant. But it is what it is, right? It is what it is. So that's a lot of keys to donate to be able to get these skins. I wonder if somebody has a video out detailing. I'm sure the Vision site has pictures of these skins. I'd like to see them to see if they're really worth it. Because the patches, I mean, my opinion, I'm not really bothered about the patches. They're cool and all, but I'm not really bothered about them. Anywho, let's go ahead and donate ourselves another key. Uh, should open up a cache. Hadn't opened up a cache yet. Let's donate. Alright. See, I don't even know exactly what the apparel is. Yeah, I haven't done any research on too much of this stuff. I have a feeling that most of the gear I'm not really looking for. I think if anything, it's all about if you get a prototype, you know. So I'm just gonna keep hoarding these until I finally make my mind up on what I want to do. Because it just says open to receive special named and exotic gear. And yeah, I'm not really out for that. And apparel, man, like I was telling my boy, yeah, I said, you know, I kind of got my signature look, you know, it's kind of my brand. So the apparel is really not enticing, not to me anyhow. So more than likely, I'll probably invest in the community caches moving forward, you know, just to do my part for the community, and at the same time, see what these skins look like. Cause I don't know about anything else. I don't see anything else that I really, really want. Or at least in my mind, I don't see anything. I have to check it out for myself. But anyhow,
Friendly supply convoy detected.
my friends, we about to end this stream. We've gone long enough. Long enough. I'm missing mask. I need to get up on that, huh? Get the rest of my mask. And of course, they don't show you all your exotics here. They show them to you in DC, which that's where I'm going to travel. But I won't take you through that pain watching me travel to DC. Um, I just don't want to get stuck here in New York, you know. Anywho, my friends, casual likes, I appreciate you all for joining me, for catching the video on the late night tip or at your leisure. It's all good. Drop me some thumbs up. Drop me some likes. You know, I'm not begging. I'm just saying, let me know that you've been here. You know, that's all. That's all I'm asking. You know, I don't ask for subscribers and followers and all that different stuff. I don't ask for anything. But if you be so kind, hit me with a thumbs up. Let me know that you appreciate what I'm doing here. Till then, my friends, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Casual.